Okay, so let's dive in. We've sort of been tracking this anticipation, haven't we? This feeling that someone significant is about to arrive, someone who could really shift things.
Exactly. And now we're at that moment, the actual birth of Siddhartha.
And the atmosphere in those ancient stories around his arrival.
Mhm.
It's just incredible. It feels less like a simple birth and more like, I don't know, a cosmic event.
Absolutely. The whole world seems tuned in, according to these narratives. It's fascinating.
Right. So for this deep dive, we're really focusing on Lumbini. We want to explore these, well, extraordinary accounts of Siddhartha's birth from those old texts. Think about Queen Maya. She's carrying this
Yeah.
potential, right? And she's making this journey to her family home.
Which was, standard practice back then. It grounds this huge event in something quite ordinary for the time.
But then, like you said, things take a really unexpected turn.
They certainly do.
She doesn't actually reach her parents' home. Instead, the story goes, she stops in these peaceful groves in Lumbini. Can you just picture it? This really serene place. Apparently, sal trees were in bloom. And this momentous birth happens right there.
It's a beautiful image.
Do the texts give any specific reason why Lumbini? Why there?
Often they stress the sheer beauty and the tranquility of the place. Lumbini is painted as this idyllic spot. So maybe the idea was it was just fitting. Harmonious place for someone destined for enlightenment to arrive.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the birth itself. The description's pretty remarkable.
Oh, definitely.
The tradition says Queen Maya gave birth standing up, no pain, holding onto the branch of a sal tree. What do you think that suggests? The standing position? The lack of pain? What's the symbolism there?
Well, standing could imply strength, maybe immediacy, being grounded. And the lack of pain that's often read as a sign of purity, both hers and the child's, it signals that he's extraordinary, set apart from typical human experience, literally from his first breath.
Right. Different from the start. And then you get these amazing celestial things happening, like divine beings showing up.
Yes, the divas. They're said to pour 2 streams of water from the sky.
One cool, one warm, specifically to bathe the baby Siddhartha.
Exactly. Water as a purifier, that's a very common theme, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So the 2 streams, cool and warm, might suggest a kind of complete cleansing, maybe both physical and, spiritual.
Yeah.
It really emphasizes that he's arrived already pure, already marked for this special destiny.
And it doesn't stop there. There's talk of flowers raining down, celestial music.
Filling the air. It paints this picture of cosmic celebration.
Yeah, it really elevates it, doesn't it? It's not just a birth. It's the universe basically saying, pay attention.
Precisely. It signals that this event has profound importance, way beyond just the family or the kingdom.
But then, almost immediately after being born and bathed, the story gets even more extraordinary.
Yeah.
Siddhartha apparently takes steps.
Yes, 7 steps in each of the 4 cardinal directions.
A newborn taking steps. And they say lotus flowers bloomed where he walked.
That's the tradition. It's incredibly symbolic imagery.
Okay, so what are we supposed to take from that? 7 steps, lotuses.
Well, the number 7 in that ancient context often represented completeness or perfection. Taking steps in all 4 directions could signify sort of universal dominion or that his message would spread everywhere.
Okay.
And the lotus flowers, they're a powerful symbol across many Eastern traditions, representing purity, spiritual awakening, potential emerging from, the mud of existence. So his very first actions are like a preview of his entire path.
A declaration almost.
Oh.
Which leads right into the next part, this incredible statement the newborn supposedly makes.
Ah, yes, the proclamation.
I am supreme in the world. This is my last birth. There will be no more existence for me. I mean, a baby saying that. How do we even process that?
It's staggering, isn't it? It immediately sets him apart as someone with innate wisdom, someone who already understands his ultimate spiritual goal. Whether you take it literally or see it as symbolic language, the message is clear. This is no ordinary infant. This is the arrival of a being who has already, in some sense, reached the culmination of the spiritual journey.
And I think it's crucial for us and for you listening to remember we're talking about narratives from a specific spiritual tradition.
Absolutely.
Some people read these as literal historical miracles. Others see them as maybe poetic ways to express just how incredibly special Siddhartha was believed to be.
Right. And maybe the literal versus metaphorical debate isn't even the most important point.
What do you mean?
Well, regardless of how you interpret them, the purpose of these miracle stories seems pretty clear. It's to emphasize the unique nature and the profound destiny of this individual right from moment one.
So they're setting the stage.
Exactly. They're highlighting that this isn't just a life starting, it's the beginning of something world-changing. A path to enlightenment is opening up.
It really drives home that feeling we talked about earlier, that this wasn't just a personal family event, but something with cosmic importance, like the universe itself was involved.
Mm-hmm. And that connects back beautifully to the prophecies that circulated before his birth.
Ah, right. So the miraculous birth kind of confirms those prophecies.
In a way, yes. It acts as the fulfillment, the proof that those predictions were accurate and that Siddhartha really is this figure of immense spiritual significance. The birth becomes this powerful moment where prophecy and, well, reality seem to merge.
And it's amazing that Lumbini, the actual place, is still considered so sacred today.
It is a major pilgrimage site.
People travel from all over the world to connect with that spot, with the very beginning of the story. Why do you think it holds such power?
I think it offers a tangible connection. You can stand there and think, this is where it began. It's a place where history, legend, and deep spirituality all come together. It lets people feel that direct link to the start of the Buddha's earthly path.
So really, whether we see these miraculous stories as fact or as powerful metaphors, they undeniably lay the groundwork for everything that follows this incredible life, these profound teachings. They just soak the whole narrative in this sense of divine purpose, of universal meaning right from the very beginning.
Well said. It really hammers home that idea that extraordinary transformations often have beginnings that signal something truly special is unfolding. Siddhartha's birth, with all these exceptional elements, wasn't just a start. It was like the inauguration of an era of enlightenment.
Which kind of leaves us, and you listening, with something to think about, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How might extraordinary potential show up in what seem like ordinary circumstances in our lives or in the world, reflecting on Siddhartha's birth literally or symbolically, how it announced something huge was happening?
That's a great point. It makes you wonder, where else do we find stories, maybe in history, maybe even closer to home, where the beginning is marked by something unusual or deeply symbolic? And what do those stories tell us about the potential hidden in those moments?
Yeah. So if this deep dive into Lumbini and the birth has sparked something for you, maybe think about which part really grabbed your attention. Was it the symbolism of the sal tree, the idea of cosmic rejoicing, or maybe just the historical context of how births were recorded back then?
There's always more digging to do, isn't there? Especially when you're looking at the foundations of such a profoundly influential story.